Hey everybody, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be building the Chomping Monster Book of Monsters Lego set. This set is one of the many new Harry Potter sets that came out on June the 1st, and I'm very excited to put this one together. So let's get started. I started by opening the box and dumping out all the poly bags.
Whoops.
Once I finished dumping the pullback motor onto the ground, I got out the poly bags and organized them into position. There's a total of 4 poly bags in this set, the instruction manual, and the pullback motor, which I hope still works. Starting off with bag number 1. I got the pieces dumped out, and the first thing I did was build the Neville Longbottom minifigure with the miniature Chomping book. I set him off to the side so he could watch me while I built the rest of the set. And the first thing I did was start to put the frame pieces together. I think this is going to be the bottom half of the book, and pretty simple build. Just some more pieces for the frame here, where some of the finishing pieces are going to attach to. And then I get into adding what is eventually going to be the page part of the book. These are the hinge pieces for the bottom part of the book, and eventually will mount to the top part of the book. And then I begin the same process on the other side. Now I am starting to actually add some finishing detail for the bottom part of the book. And once that's completed, that is the end of bag number 1. Kind of basic looking so far, but it comes together in the end. Now on to bag number 2. Getting the pieces dumped out for the second bag of this set, and I begin the top part of the book. It begins with the same frame as the bottom, and is essentially the same thing with the same trim on the sides. These are the hinge pieces, same as the bottom piece. And once I get the outside trim pieces put on, it's time to connect the top and lower pieces. The hinges are installed in the opposite position so they can just lock together, and a pin is put in to lock them together. Then I added some curved pieces to lock that pin in place so that it can't just fall out, and there's the same process on the other side. Once it's flipped around, you're just taking this longer black pin, putting that in it, and then once that's in there, then I took the same brown pin as the other side, put that in, and then use the same curved pieces to lock that pin in place, locking the upper and lower half together. And that's bag number 2. On to bag number 3. There's a lot of brown plate in this bag, which I think is going to be the cover of the book, and I set all the big pieces aside so I can get a better look at the smaller pieces. The edges of the cover are just made up of these 4 plates, which all lock into place. They're all slightly different, which gives the book that kind of like random fuzzy look. And then it's on to installing the letters of the book. These are all printed pieces, they're not stickers. No stickers in this set at all, which I think is great to see. And I added a few more detail pieces, and it's coming right along. So this here is the eyes of the book, which gets mounted right into the center. And after a few more detailed pieces, the cover is ready to install. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it took me a really long time to get this cover installed on the set. I had to open it and look again, and I got it eventually, but yeah. So this is the trim piece for the front edge of the book. Get that put on, and then it's time to add these claw pieces on. And that's the end of bag number 3. The fourth and final bag of this set has some tires in it and lots of Technic pieces. We're also going to be installing the upper and lower jaw pieces of the book. This is the lower one, and this is the upper one. Get those put on. We're also adding these fang pieces to make it look a little meaner, and that's the finishing detail. Now we're using our pullback motor, which means this is going to be the play function of this set. This is done using Technic pieces. Make these brackets, 2 of them, 1 for each side. And then this is where the axles will slide through, that the tires will attach to. I have to mount my rims and tires together. There's 4 in total, 2 white and 2 black. Once I get the front wheels installed, it's time to move on to the back wheels. Once that's all fully assembled, then it's time to install it into the book. This just uses some simple Technic pins to mount it in there, and then there's 2 longer orange ones to mount the back piece. Next I made this little arm which just mounts to the front wheels, which I think is going to make the chomping motion when the book moves. Quickly checked on Neville and the extra pieces left over, and this is the set completely built. It's a little smaller than I was picturing originally, but I really love the detail on the top, I love the little bookmark tongue, and I love the playability feature. Let's check that out. So the back tires are used for the pullback portion, and the front tires are used to lift and close the upper part of the book, giving it that chomping function. I think it looks pretty cool. Overall, I think this set has some great displayability and playability. Now the last part is to place it in my LEGO Harry Potter display. I think I'm going to put it right here behind Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter dueling scene. Just one last adjustment there. One last look and I get it put in place. Overall, I think this set fits really nicely on my shelf. I definitely am a little more biased towards Prisoner of Azkaban sets, since that is my favorite Harry Potter movie. And I really enjoy sets that you can display and looks really nice, but also has some play functions as well. So that's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for everyone who takes the time to subscribe, like, leave a comment, or just follow along. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all really soon.